and welcome to the general reading for all signs for today, the 2nd of January, 2024. Happy New Year, everybody. This is our first tarot stream of the year, and I'm so happy that you're here with us. We are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube is the lovely Heather, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Dre. Thank you so much, Heather. Thank you so much, Dre. And thank you to everybody for joining us today. If you're watching on a restream, you can on YouTube, you can always fast forward through all my shuffling if you don't want to watch it by using the timestamps. This is the Ancient Italian Tarot, and I love that deck a lot. It's based on the old Sopraffino tarot deck. Let's purify with this Florida water. It's one of my faves. Put it in a spray bottle so we can do 3 sprays in this nice large room. And it's a nice alternative if you don't like to burn things like sage indoors. Like I said, this is a general reading for all signs for today, the 2nd of January, 2024. We're going out to everybody, whether you're watching with me live or on a restream. So since it does go out to a lot of people, if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you, then it just may not be your reading. You don't want to force anything, so just let it go. Just disregard it. If that happens, you may want to check out the zodiacal readings for your own individual sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign, and you can find all of the most recent restreams for those readings right on our website, arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com, or you can also get that by going to ariels-corner.com, arielscorner with a hyphen.com. Just click on the free online tarot readings link right in the main menu. If you're on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're on Twitch, please make sure you follow us. You can watch on Twitch without ads when you subscribe to us there. If you'd like to give us a donation, you can go to paypal.me/ArielGatoga, paypal.me/ArielGatoga. If you're on YouTube, you could use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks if you feel like giving a donation on the platform. And let's see, let's just kind of maybe 2 more shuffles should do it, I think. Feels pretty shuffly to me. Awfully shuffly. All right, this is good. Well, let's do one more. All right, let's take this deck and give it a nice clean cut for everybody. And we'll see what's in the cards for this first reading of the year. January 2nd, 2024, excuse me. I'm going to do that a lot, I bet. Judgment, followed by 2 of coins, followed by 6 of wands. Very beautiful. Nicely done. All right, Judgment, going into this year understanding, and I want you to understand, if you don't understand, how loved you are, how blessed you are, no matter what you think is going on in your life. No matter what you think of yourself or other people as individuals, no matter what any kind of perception or judgment you may have, the infinite only sees the truth about you, and that's that you are fabulous, no matter what. Now, you may have things in your life that aren't so fabulous. You may have things in your personality or body that aren't so fabulous. But those things, the world as we see it, and your body and your personality aren't the truth about you. And infinite intelligence only knows the truth about you. And the truth about you is that you are a soul and that you can't be anything other than perfect and wonderful and growing into more and more perfection and wonder. And as we wake up to that understanding, then we start having real vision. And we don't perceive things the way they aren't anymore, and we start to see things the way they are. And when we do that, the things in our lives start to appear as though they're changing and healing and mending. And that's why people say, oh, it was a miracle. It was a miracle. Well, it probably was a miracle, but miracles are not a big deal according to Spirit. Miracles are just you seeing things clearly. Miracles are just things moving back into the way they're supposed to be. So since we live in a world where everything is so off kilter, it seems like such a big deal when there's a major healing, or a big deal when you've got a major prosperity or something like that. But from the point of view of Spirit, that's just how it's supposed to be. because you're so fabulous and so wonderful. And you should have wonder upon wonder upon wonder come to you. And that's what this angel is doing, is waking these people up out of their graves and saying, you're wonderful, fabulous, wake up, and wake up to your good. Wake up to how fabulous you are. All right. So then the problem with that is that the first thing that the ego does is say, oh yeah, well, what about, right? So the mantras of the ego are yeah, but, and what about? And so that's what this here is. Yeah, well, how come how come I have bills that I can't pay? How come I don't have enough for this or that or the other thing? How come I'm always having less money at the end of the month to survive? How come I can't afford food? How come whatever it is, right? If I'm so fabulous, why? And it's the answer here is the Six of Wands, because you need to reach outside of yourself to find it. Because when we don't see things the way the spirit sees things, when we see things through the eyes of our ego mind, the ego mind is a closed system. And you can't have anything wonderful. You can't have miracles. You can't have anything that's good. Sometimes you can have things that are kind of good just to sort of not make you question the system, so it sort of like will throw you a bone or a crumb here and there. But for the most part, we live in a closed system here because we've never been taught to ask to go out of the system. We've never been taught that there's a way to see things other than the way we see them. And so the Six of Wands is saying, reach outside of the system if you want to see the healing, if you want to see the prosperity, if you want to see the what you might call miracles, you have to reach outside the system. And that's where I use that practice called the solar light. And we're in I have a new blog post, a new-ish blog post on my blog, arielscorner.com. Just click on the blog. It's the most recent post as of today. And it talks about the solar light, and it gives you a solar light exercise and a challenge to use that solar light for maybe 14 days or more. And if you try that, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't start seeing this right away. Start seeing a change and a shift in things right away, because you're looking outside of the closed thought system and asking for the part of your mind that is already connected to infinite intelligence to wake up, come out of its grave and wake up to its good. I also have a meditation based on this judgment card called Waking Up to Your Good. And you can find that, there's a link to that right in the video description of this and every tarot reading video on my YouTube channel. It's a link to all of the tarot meditations. All right, this is the Nine of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Eight of Cups. So in the midst of this, see, this is such a juxtaposition. A lot of you have been worried. Worry. And infinite intelligence is saying that's a nightmare. Wake up to your good. There's nothing to worry about. We've got you. But we can't do anything against your will. So you've got to wake up to the fact that you're in this nightmare. And we can help you. But only with your permission. And so as you start to recognize, and it may not be those words, it may not be those images, but for many of you, you are starting to wake up to the reality that you have power. You have an inner power. You were granted with all power. There's no limit to your power. It's only the ego mind that says, you're powerless. You can't do anything. You're nothing. Who are you? All of those horrible thoughts that we've been walking around our entire lives thinking about ourselves, which have nothing to do with the truth, which is why we need a big old trumpet to wake us up. Because as soon as we came into this world, we were given a sleeping pill, basically. We had no chance, And so that's why it's so important for us to listen to the inner urgings, because that's where these calls to wake up come from. They come from within us. They come from within our mind that is still connected to the truth about our souls and about ourselves. And to realize, wow, we have all power. Nothing can really stand against us. Nothing can, not at all, stand against us. That we are unassailable. Nothing can harm us. We are pure light. We are stars. You are a star. Everybody is. You're huge. Think about how big the sun is compared to the earth. Well, that's how big you are compared to your ego, and how big you are compared to who you think you are. Huge. And that's the kind of power that you've been sort of forfeiting for so long because you never knew you had it. Nobody ever told you. So when you're worried about things and I can't, it's because you don't know you have all the power. You're not supposed to have to worry. You're not supposed to have to grovel. You're not supposed to have to wonder where your next meal's coming from or whatever it is. That's not supposed to be the way it is. But that's the way we've been taught and trained for years and years and years and years and generations actually here. So it's time for us to wake up to the fact that we have power. We do. And we can know how to access that power by calling outside of the thought system that we have trapped ourselves in. And then we are intuitively led, this Eight of Cups, intuitively led, one little step at a time. That's the other thing, too, is a lot of times people think, well, okay, miracles would be so great, and then everything just happens in a flash. Well, sometimes, but usually if something happens in a flash, it's enough to go and freak you out so that you run back to your ego for protection because you're afraid. So usually what happens when things are starting to change is we take it one little step at a time, and a so-called miracle happens over time so that you can get used to it, so that you don't freak out and run back to your ego for protection. Because the ego is very loud, and it'll say, oh no, it's out to get you. Oh no, that's scary. Oh, that's dangerous. And then you believe it, and you run back to the ego for protection. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to access my power. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to want to escape this beautiful life that I live in, this gorgeous world that we live in here. I'm sorry, please don't hurt me, right? So you don't want that kind of existence. So what you do is you, instead of rocking the boat, you call outside of the thought system and you take things intuitively, one step at a time, and you notice how swiftly and deftly Spirit can lead you out of the problems, out of those impertinent thoughts that we have, out of those worries, out of all the scariness of this world. And as we're waking up to our good, we are slowly led, or actually very rapidly led, but it seems slow because we need it to feel comfortable. Comfortably led, I should have said, not slowly. Comfortably led out of whatever the problems are, because we're taking it one step at a time. We are listening to that still small voice within us rather than the scary voice within us that's telling us how awful we are. We're listening to that still small voice within us saying, you got this, you're okay, come on, one step, then another, yay, you're out of the problem, yay, you're out of trouble, right? And you just keep coming back to that over and over again. And you start learning that the ego is nothing but a tape in your mind. It's nothing but a computer virus that can easily be removed. So you're doing great, and what a wonderful year of awakening that this is portending. So you have nothing to worry about, and every reason to be grateful for understanding that you have all power available to you. All power, not just a little power, all power. It was all given to you. Infinite intelligence didn't withhold one little bit when it created you. But your ego mind that we all seem to have created for whatever reason does hold everything back from you. That's its goal. So you're doing great. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be back for another general reading tomorrow. And thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Heather and Dre. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. Blessed be.